Now at 11, new details about that deadly medical jet crash in northeast Philadelphia. Investigators are combing through the burned cars and damaged homes for clues while neighbors try to fully process exactly what happened last night. The latest on the investigation into what caused that aircraft to go down just moments after takeoff. It is Saturday night. I'm Walter Perez. The big story in Action News is the latest in a deadly medical jet crash in northeast Philadelphia. It happened just after 6 p.m., not too far from the Roosevelt Mall. Tonight, officials from Mexico have identified the mother and the child among the 6 victims of that aircraft as Lisbeth Murillo Osuna and Valentina Guzman Murillo. One person on the ground was also killed, as 19 others on the ground were injured. Officials from the National Transportation Safety Board say the flight first departed from Opa-locka, Florida yesterday around noon. It arrived in northeast Philadelphia Airport a couple of hours later before departing a bit past 6 p.m. It climbed to about 1,500 feet before plummeting back to the ground. The flight was headed for Missouri before continuing to Tijuana. We have team coverage on the latest developments. Action News reporter Brianna Gallagher has an update on the injured victims. Katie Catro spoke with witnesses, and Brianna Smith has the latest from officials investigating this crash. We begin with Brianna.
Walter, the NTSB classified the crash as an accident, and you can see flashing lights behind me. First responders and experts from the local to the federal level have been on the ground for more than 24 hours now, searching for more potential victims, assessing the damage and collecting evidence. The NTSB says this could take days, even weeks, for this process, and right now they're on the search for the jet's black box.
The entire flight lasted less than a minute.
We have a lost aircraft. We're not exactly sure what happened.
This video shows the massive explosion in a busy thoroughfare after a medical jet crashed near Roosevelt Mall in northeast Philadelphia just after 6 p.m. on Friday.
We were looking at GPS data on the aircraft, a slight right turn followed by a slight left turn, and then a steep descent towards the ground where it crashed.
The NTSB says Learjet 55, operated by Jet Rescue Air Ambulance, was flying to Missouri from the northeast Philadelphia airport. The 6 members on board, including a child and her mother, died. They've been identified as Lisbeth Murillo Osuna and Valentina Guzman Murillo. Shriners Children's Philadelphia says the child received treatment and was headed home to Mexico.
We mourn their loss, and they are in our thoughts and in our prayers.
Mayor Sherelle Parker says at least 1 person in a vehicle was killed and 19 others injured, but that number could increase as the investigation continues.
The city is working around the clock to keep people safe, to understand what happened, and to be there for those who are impacted.
As the sun rose on Saturday, this is what the road looked like from Chopper 6. A huge crater, charred cars, and 5 scorched homes with debris spanning nearly 6 blocks. The NTSB says now they're desperately searching for the cockpit voice recorder.
Hopefully, once we can find it, that's the biggest question right now. We can take that back to our lab and evaluate it. I encourage everyone to stay out of the accident site. It's very dangerous.
Yeah, and that black box is an important part of the investigation. So if you see debris, do not touch it. Instead, call the NTSB or 911. Also contact 911 if you know someone who is missing. Now, as for the investigation, we expect to learn more details from city officials late tomorrow morning. Live in northeast Philadelphia, Brianna Smith, Channel 6 Action News. Walter?
Okay, Brianna, thank you. The Mexican consulate and Jet Rescue Air Ambulance are working closely with local and federal authorities as they work to identify all the victims from the plane crash.
A few families have been trying to identify if their loved ones were in the plane.
Our condolences go to the family of the patient. It's just heartbreaking.
The president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, released a statement saying, quote, she mourns the passing of 6 Mexicans in the aviation accident. Action News reporter Brianna Gallagher joins us live from northeast Philadelphia with an update on the conditions of some of the bystanders injured as the medical jet crashed. Brianna.
Yes, Walter. Well, there's still a lot of unanswered questions here tonight in terms of fatalities and injuries. But earlier today, we spoke with the mother and father of a 10-year-old boy who is believed to be one of the very first patients who have arrived at Jefferson Torresdale Hospital last night.
My baby in there. It's hard to see him like that. As a mother, what am I supposed to do? But he's good. He's pushing through.
10-year-old Andre Howard was in the car with his father and siblings when tragedy shook Northeast Philadelphia.
Here, what we thought was a car crash, but then you see a fury of fire in the air and then a bunch of debris shooting everywhere.
Andre tells us he tried using nearby buildings to shield them from flying debris.
My son, who's also the same name as me, Andre Howard, tells his little sister, "Get down," and he grabs her. I hear the glass shatter, I turn around. There's a piece of metal sticking out of my son's head from the plane.
A Good Samaritan took the shirt off his back to help apply pressure to Andre's head. Then a Philadelphia police officer rushed them to Jefferson Torresdale Hospital, where the boy underwent emergency surgery.
They pretty much told us my son wasn't supposed to make it. Jefferson also told us that they didn't do children trauma surgeries, but they did for us, which was nothing but God.
Authorities say at least 7 people are dead and 19 others are injured, including Andre. Doctors initially told him that his son would never walk again, but after being transported to CHOP, Andre has made miracle strides overnight.
To face death yesterday and speaking today, stepping up for his little sister like I trained him and his other brothers to do, off of instinct, he's my hero.
He's strong. He's a jokester, but he's strong.
Oh, he's a superhero.
He's a superhero.
Now, his mother tells me that his team of doctors and nurses are working around the clock to keep him stable and comfortable. Meanwhile, they'll be taking things day by day and continuing to pray for little Andre's full recovery. We're live in Northeast Philadelphia tonight. Brianna Gallagher, Channel 6 Action News. Walter.
Just such a tragic story. My goodness. All right, thank you, Brianna. Well, the city of Philadelphia is providing residents with resources during the crash investigation. Mental health services are available through the Department of Behavioral Health and Intellectual Disability Services. The Red Cross is also helping neighbors file claims for property damage. And local businesses can reach out to the Department of Commerce for any operational challenges. Once again, a community in shock after that jet crashed in a busy area packed with people shopping and eating out at local diners and restaurants. Many people are still trying to process exactly what happened. One person says he heard a loud bang and then his house started to shake. Action News reporter Katie Catro joins us live from Northeast Philadelphia, where she spoke with witnesses. Katie.
Walter, people who live in this densely populated part of Northeast Philadelphia are saddened, horrified, and still trying to come to terms with what happened yesterday. We spoke with neighbors who described the sheer magnitude of this tragedy in their own words.
People go to the movies, and to me, this is not a movie. This is for real. I mean, something that is devastating, a tragedy. And I live, like I said, I live a few blocks away, and I still can't believe this is my own backyard. And this is a sad situation.
Daylight gave those who live in the area surrounding Cottman Avenue and the Roosevelt Boulevard a glimpse at the chaos and tragedy that played out in the sky and on their streets.
This is a tragedy, and it's devastating to even look at it.
People were driving, shopping, and inside restaurants when the medical jet crashed.
We see like a big fire, explosion, and we was sitting in a chair, and we fly from the chair.
Waleed Goma says he was terrified.
If you there, you was scared. You gonna scare. And start like see some lady, her face is burned.
Debris scattered for blocks from the impact. Goma says he found some on his car.
I took my car because I have debris in the car. My car windows broke, the back one. I took it to the police station.
DJ Thorpe walked out of the Roosevelt Mall just as the crash happened.
I was over here in the mall shopping, came out of Macy's. All of a sudden, there was a big explosion.
People here say this is a day that will live in their memories forever.
I'll remember the date, January 31st, 2025.
Now, Mayor Parker is asking for people to stay away from this area to give crews the space to do their job as the investigation continues. Reporting live in Northeast Philadelphia, Katie Catra, Channel 6 Action News. Walter?
All right, Katie, thank you.